objection, Your Honor. You can be nice without being rude. I can hold the door for you when you're 20 feet away, or I could not. It's not rude if I don't hold the door for you since you're so far away. Objection. I think it's fine.
Order in the court. Order in the court. Okay. Welcome back, you guys, to Order in Court. Today, I am your judge in Cheyenne County of the Bears. So, I don't know what story.
Wait for the story.
Are we ready, you guys?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Am I the bad guy for taking my girlfriend's lasagna home when she said I could? Okay. My girlfriend and I are both college students. She lives in an apartment on her own, and I live with my parents. On Sunday, my girlfriend made homemade lasagna for our date night. She made everything from scratch, including the noodles. It was really good, so after we finished, I asked if I could take lasagna home for my family to try. She said yes. When I left that night, I took the tray of lasagna with me. My girlfriend didn't walk me out, so she didn't see me take the tray. On Monday, I got a text from my girlfriend asking where her lasagna was. I told her I had taken it home for my family. She said, I thought you were going to take some, not the whole thing. I spent most of my food budget for the rest of the week on it and with the intention to eat leftovers for the rest of the week. Now I don't know what I'm going to eat. I felt bad and apologized, but pointed out that I had asked her if I could take it home and she didn't tell me that I couldn't take the whole tray. She said it could have been obvious that I shouldn't take the whole thing since this tray was so big. To be fair, it was a really big tray. My family of 5 only just finished the tray yesterday after eating for dinner both nights. But I don't think the size of the tray makes it obvious that I shouldn't take it. Monday night and last night, my girlfriend complained that she had to eat instant noodles for dinner so that she wouldn't blow her food budget. Today, she's asking me if I can buy her a sandwich since I took her leftovers for the week. It sucks that I spent her, there's a word missing, blank budget on lasagna, but I think this is her fault for not being clear that I shouldn't take the whole thing. I don't think it's justified in asking me to buy her lunch because of it. She called me a booty hole for not being willing to help her out. Am I the bad guy? Okay, first of all, I'm gonna just say, actually, no bias. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, Cheyenne, you're the affirmative, so, well, you're on the guy's side, right? The speaker side? Okay,
yeah.
so she's on the guy's side, she's on the girl's side. He took lasagna, she didn't know she was gonna take the whole tray. Now, you have 5 minutes to talk, win me over, sorry.
So the boyfriend did ask to take the lasagna, and she brushed past it and said yes. She didn't think to say, hey, leave me some, or hey, don't take all of it, I'm gonna eat the rest of this for my leftovers, or else he would have left some. But if she had a set, she didn't say that she was going to eat this for the rest of the week. And so, I mean, he asked to take it to his family. He lives with his family, so it's going to be all of his family who are going to want to try it. And that's a family of 5. I would say that's a pretty big-ish family to eat some lasagna, okay? So, I mean, a whole tray worth of lasagna for a family of 5 seems like enough. And he said the size of the tray did not indicate that I should leave some left over. And if she had asked, maybe, hey, how much are you gonna take? He could have been like, hey, I'm leaving this much. But she brushed it off and was just like, yeah, you can take it. Which, honestly, she should have paid more attention if she was gonna eat it for the rest of the week. She should have cared a little bit more. And then she asked where his lasagna was. He explained, hey, I took it home to my family to try. And she blew up and was like, I was gonna eat that for the rest of the week. This is paraphrased, but she said, I thought you were gonna take some. I spent most, keep in mind most, I spent most of my budget. She should have, honestly, what if something had happened to that lasagna? What if it had went bad? What if something had gotten into it? She should have been more prepared for the rest of the week to maybe not spend all of her budget on a lasagna. Because leftovers can obviously always go bad. Something can happen. Her fridge could run out of battery. Rats could honestly get in. There could be some kind of infestation. Something could happen. The power could go out and her fridge might not work. Anything could happen to those leftovers to where she should have planned to eat that for the rest of the week. That seems like poor planning to me. And then she shouldn't have spent so much of her budget if she didn't know how the lasagna was going to go. Because maybe she didn't like it. What if she hadn't liked it and she would have had no budget for the rest of the week? And then she asked him to buy her food when she said she spent most of her budget and not all of her budget. Meaning she could have spent the rest of her money to go buy her a sandwich. There's no way a sandwich can cost that much. If you're worried about blowing your budget, you can honestly just buy the ingredients and you have plenty of food for a while. If you buy deli meat, cheese, and a sandwich, you may go a little over the budget, but you'll have food for relatively 1 to 2 weeks. I'll say that much. And then, I mean, big family equals big lasagna. So he's gonna take more lasagna for his moral family. And it said she didn't see him walk out. Why did she not walk out with him? Was she too occupied? Did she not care about the lasagna?
10 seconds.
And then he apologized. I'll only say that much. He did apologize for what he had said. So that means he did feel sorry. And she should not have blown up about something like this.
Time. Kylie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Take your place. Okay. Kylie has a court. You may go.
Okay, first of all, it's common sense. It's a whole tray that obviously fed a family of 5 for almost a week. It's common sense to not take that much lasagna.
Oh, no, I can't object to it.
A thing to take in mind is she talked about the mistake on a Monday to him, and he continued to let his family eat the leftovers instead of taking it back after she pointed out the mistake. Also, he said he wanted to take the lasagna home to try, not to take and let his family of 5 eat the whole thing. And he lives with a family of 5 that can provide for him, and they make money, and he can buy his own food. She's a college student. She lives alone in an apartment. She has a low food budget. Also, how often do you plan out your whole week of eating? You sound like she's supposed to plan it out. Like, like, a coincidence that her fridge was out of battery. Like, that's not expected. At the end of the story, you didn't bring this up, but he did apologize. She asked him to do a little favor, buy her a sandwich. He wouldn't even do that. After he got to spend no money on a whole week of food, and she spent all of it on ramen noodles. Mind you, ramen noodles have no nutrition, are not good for you at all. And you for a whole week straight can cause a really big problem. That's about all I wrote down. So I'm done.
So you have 1 minute left. You have a minute added to your.
So I have 3 minutes now?
Yeah. You may go.
If I do recall, it said it spent her like, it lasted them about 2 nights. 2 nights is not almost a week. And yes, he could have taken it back, but he had already promised his family that I have this delicious lasagna. And maybe he wanted to treat his family to a little dinner. And I would like to say, once she had money left over, she could have full well bought it for herself. She's in college. She should not be depending on anybody to buy her stuff because she doesn't have the budget. She should have planned for that. She should have known, hey, I'm not gonna have the money for it in college. So maybe she shouldn't have went and spent this elaborate money on a big old lasagna if she knew she couldn't supply for herself. Because again, something could happen to this lasagna. I mean, you can't just, make it hope for the best. And if this is all she had, why would she tell her boyfriend he could take it? Honestly, I think you should probably, and communication, honestly, is a big thing. He apologized, so she could have communicated, and this whole thing would have been, honestly, ended. But it was just a miscommunication that she didn't feel like solving. And, I mean, shoot, she's in college. She should have her life together at this point, not to blow her money and make an entire lasagna from scratch, where you can buy the ingredients pre-made. She made the noodles from scratch. Do you know how much that is? Do you know how expensive eggs are? And she does not have the budget to be making pasta from scratch as a college student, a broke college student in this fact. And yeah, he does live with his family who could buy food for him, but he is in college as well, so he's trying to plan his life to not be dependent on these people. He cannot just hope that they'll always pay for him and buy him more food. So honestly, no, this is not his fault, because one, it was miscommunication on her part. It was bad planning, and she just brushed it off as, oh yeah, you can take it, instead of being like, hey, you should leave me this much. Hey, don't take all of it. literally she could have said anything but just yeah. And again, like you said, it lasted them a whole week. As it said in the story, it lasted them 2 dinners. And yeah, he could have taken it back, but that's honestly, that's not fair to his family. If they are now, hey, I have this lasagna, I'm gonna eat this lasagna, he can't just be like, oh, never mind, go starve. He can't, that's rude. And that is the girlfriend's fault. Why is she gonna take away another dinner worth of food? And no, noodles don't have nutrition, but literally almost every college student survives off of broke little ramen noodles because that's what they can afford.
10 seconds.
So, I mean, if they can do it, why can't she? Why does she have to be so privileged to have her homemade lasagna that costed her almost a week's worth of budget? Why did a lasagna cost a whole week?
Callie, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. You have 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Obviously, she's gonna live on a food budget because, as you said, college students spend most of their time living off of ramen, bad food. So why should she have her life together, like you said? You said she should have her life together. She doesn't, and you said it yourself. Also, she said she spent a little bit on it, and she had the intention of eating it for leftovers. She had the intention of eating it, which was 10 whole meals of lasagna. So yeah, she didn't intend on spending more money. It was miscommunication, okay? But he said himself, he brought it home for his family to try. She heard try, she took the intention that he was gonna bring it back after their family tried it. Also, he didn't speak up about anything either. It was communication on both parts, I will agree on that. But also, why is it a big deal if he promised his family that he was gonna bring food? Like, why are they so dependent on him for food? They have their own jobs. They're a family of 5. They have their own money. They don't need a plate of lasagna made by another person to survive off. You know, I'm made by the I'm confident.
You're confident? Okay. So, time. So, you guys are gonna have a little recess to duke it out with one another. Obviously, I will be the judge in this. If I need to lay down the hammer, I will lay down the hammer.
We don't have
anybody speaks over me. What? Anybody speaks over me, they will get my wrath, okay? And I will be addressed as your honor. Okay. One moment, you guys. I have a few questions to ask, okay? For you, Cheyenne. Sorry, I had to. Okay. You know, obviously, I'm a senior in high school. Quick fact about me, I'm going to college next year. So, you know, I kind of relate to the college struggle a little bit, okay? You called her privileged and said she kind of spent her money, like, not so wisely by spending so much on lasagna. But my thing is, could you not say that she did spend it wisely because that was going to be her meal for the next week?
Your Honor, I would like to say, what happens if something were to happen to that lasagna? She shouldn't be, again, she should not be spending an entire week's budget on a lasagna. Let's say she has $7 for 1 week, okay? $7, that's obviously exaggerating. But let's say she has $7. If she's gonna spend $6 on a lasagna, that could go bad easily. Or maybe something happens wrong with the ingredients. Maybe she doesn't like it. She should be planning to spend at least $3.
Who's to say she cannot freeze a lasagna and something wouldn't go wrong with it?
I mean, anything could go wrong with it. Anything.
You may go.
Okay, you don't base your whole life off of what if this happens. Like, you live in the moment.
Objection, Your Honor.
That's my job.
You don't make a whole meal, and while you're making it, you're like, oh my goodness, what if this happens to it? Like, what if this, hey, you have the intention of eating it later. I don't think about, oh my goodness, what if, like, my cat gets in and eat it all and I don't have any food for the rest of the week. I don't think about that. Nobody thinks of that.
I would say one point and a little note behind it. If she wants to be elaborate and make this elaborate lasagna, she should plan to be elaborate. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you said earlier.
But who's to say she didn't? But it just took a majority of her money.
I mean, that's not really wise and elaborate, is it? You're wasting all your money on a lasagna that could go bad. Maybe her cat does get into it. Maybe she has a human Garfield. Okay, maybe her fridge breaks down. Anything could happen with leftovers. Her boyfriend could take it out of miscommunication. So no, she should not be playing for this. Or she should be, sorry.
You said yourself that she spent a little money on the lasagna.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection.
You said yourself. Write it down.
I wrote it down. Okay, no, I said that entire point. My entire point was she spent almost a week's worth on this lasagna. I actually have it in my notes. She did not spend a little. You said in your last point she spent a little. I would not say almost an entire week's worth of food money is not a little.
Okay, what if she has a bad job?
Then maybe she should get a better one.
Do you know why homeless people exist? Because she can't get a good job.
Objection, Your Honor. This is irrelevant. She's not homeless. She's living in college.
Okay. You may go. You may go.
Who's to say she still can't have a bad job? It doesn't pay her well enough.
If she's not getting paid well enough, why is she spending a week's worth of money on a lasagna?
It was a date night, so it was something special that you want to spend more money on.
Well, maybe if she was going to spend a week's worth of it, she should have asked her boyfriend to pitch in if it was really that big of a deal.
That is true. Do you have a rebuttal for that?
Why would she do that?
Because she's spending almost a week's worth on it.
With the intention of it being hers and her eating it.
But something could go wrong, and she's going to share it, so why not share the food, share the budget?
Okay. I have a question, okay? At the end, she's complaining because, she doesn't have any food to eat. She's eating instant noodles, and she asked her boyfriend to buy her a sandwich, okay? My thing is, she says, I don't think she's justified in asking me to buy her lunch because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that he shouldn't have to buy her a sandwich despite taking all of her food for that week and leaving her to scavenge for herself? That he shouldn't feel the need to buy her a sandwich, and he shouldn't feel bad. Well, she asked me for a sandwich when I took all her food.
I would like to say he did not take all of her food. She was eating ramen noodles. She had food.
Okay.
And therefore... Sorry, Your Honor.
It's okay. Do you think he should buy her a sandwich, yes or no?
Honestly, it would be nice of him, but he's not obligated. It would be, hey, I took your food. Here's a sandwich. But he's not obligated. I have to buy you a sandwich from taking the lasagna you said that I could have.
So you just said it's rude. The whole point is he the bad person? That's kind of rude of him to do.
Objection, Your Honor. I did not say it was rude.
You said he's not obligated, but it'd be nice to do. Well, stop saying nice, rude.
Objection, Your Honor. You can be nice without being rude. I can hold the door for you when you're 20 feet away, or I could not. It's not rude if I don't hold the door for you, since you're so far away. Objection. I think it's wrong.
Order in the court. Order in the court. Strike two.
I didn't mean to say that. Objection. Your Honor. I think I'm having a heart attack, Your Honor. There was enough the wind out of me.
I have a question for you, real quick, Kylie.
Yes.
Okay, my thing is, do you think that she could have communicated better to not take the entire tray, and that it is kind of her fault for not telling him to only take a portion of it? And do you think that she obviously had no about his family if they were dating. Do you think she could have known about his family, known they were dating, and known he was taking for his entire family of 5 to try, and thought that it might be justified to take that large tray since his family's so big to get like a good portion of it? And that she was wrong for not communicating, leave me some or leave me a majority of it?
Yeah, definitely there was some miscommunication, but she taught him about it, and
Objection.
Let her finish it off.
he taught her about it. That's true.
Sorry, I misheard.
She brought it up to him someday, on Monday, I think. And then Tuesday, he says his family continues to eat it. Wouldn't it be like kind of nice to, after she gets mad about it, to give it back? What's left?
Okay, do you think that he could have offered a little portion of it back if they were still eating on it?
Honestly, why should he have?
Bruh.
She said he could have it. That's like, hey, I'm gonna give you a gift. I'm gonna throw a pen at you. Wait, I need that pen back. That's quite rude. If you give someone a gift and you ask for it back, That's quite inconsiderate.
But she didn't necessarily ask for it back, but he could have offered some of it back to be nice, knowing the situation and that it was a miscommunication.
He could have, but again, he's not obligated to.
But wouldn't you feel a little bit of remorse, especially if that's your girlfriend?
I mean, maybe he's probably teaching her to be a bit wiser about it and not spend all her money on it.
Again, the whole point is he's asking if he's the bad person. That's the whole thing. You're saying he's not obligated, but he should. He's not obligated, but it'd be nice. Like, he's the bad person if he's not doing this stuff.
Objection? I mean, again, you don't have to be nice, but that doesn't make you rude. You know what I'm saying? You can not be nice without being rude. You can just be normal.
Okay. We are hitting the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to let you guys say your final comments one at a time. Would either of you guys offer to go first? Who wants to go last? Does it matter?
You go first.
I will go first.
You get 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, obviously, there was miscommunication, even though he did vaguely say, my family wants to try it. He said that, and I quote, he said he wanted to try it. There could have been some miscommunication. She didn't know. And she brought it up, and he continued to feel no remorse, and he didn't bring it back. He didn't buy her a sandwich after she spent all the rest of her money on ramen noodles. He doubled down. He is kind of rude by refusing to buy her anything, and I stand by, like, he's the bad person for that. And that's what I said.
Your Honor, I say she's the bad person for the miscommunication, and he did not vaguely say, I'm taking it to my family. He straight up said, yes, I'm gonna go take it to my family so they can have some. But didn't she vaguely say yes? She didn't ask him any more questions about it. And so she could have communicated better, and she should not, honestly, if she had more food, why is she asking him to go out of his way to spend his money? Why is she being so inconsiderate about how she's going to spend her money and where she's going to spend it and how it's going to turn out? Because again, she could not like it, something could happen to it, anything. So she should have been wiser about it. She should have had better communication, and she should not have so vaguely passed over it. So yeah, I say she is the bad person in this case, and I stand by that.
So you're on
Oh, we like freely talk.
Yeah, you can figure it out.
Okay, half of what your final statement was false, thank you.
Bro, what?
It was. I literally just brought the fact that he said he wanted to try it, and he said he wanted to take it to his family.
I said take his family to have some. That's the same as try.
You worded it weird. You worded it so it made you sound better.
That's what the whole case, isn't it? To make him sound better.
That's not the point of principle.
Your Honor, there should be a rule that you are not allowed to say that in court.
So true.
Your Honor, do you mean bias right?
My family's so close, you know? So I can see that in his defense. And in his defense, she shouldn't have spent that much money on the lasagna, knowing that she's a broke college student. You know, lasagna is a lot of money to make.
Your Honor, look at the back of her notes right now. Oh! Your Honor, that's right green. That's right green. Do I read this case?
That was.
Your Honor, that's derogatory against me. Those are threats.
What does that mean?
It's that I love you.
She said she hates me.
I don't know, maybe you think this is a prison courtyard where you can do whatever you want to.
Meet me outside.
Your Honor, she's threatening me.
You're sending threats to the court?
Your Honor, I do not feel safe.
It was a dumb thing. It was just a dumb miscommunication. And at the end of the day, I do not think he was the bad guy. I will say that. So, I will say that you causing chaos in this court did not help your case.
Bias.
So is this me winning the
This
case?
is your first win. Yeah.
It was not much of an honor. Your Honor, Your Honor.
Okay.
Are we at the door now?
No, because we're about to fight. politically biased. I think that was all based on how many strikes I got. And I
You got
Frick, you should be fired.
what if that was an accident?
You still got 3 at the end of the day.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. No, at least people on Reddit agree with me.
You guys, comment below if we should vlog us playing pickleball.
Yeah, we're gonna play pickleball later
Yeah.
as a little debut afterwards.
It's gonna be me versus Shay. So.
It's gonna be me and Kylie on the same team, so we get our anchors
It's
out.
gonna be me and Shay in a boxing ring.
Like that picture right there, except
Which one is y'all's?
no, don't compare because one's Jesus and one's death, so that's like really rude against Jesus.
You're the one who said it.
Well, I'm saying we're gonna look like that, but we're just not gonna be Jesus.
Am I gonna have that
Another
muscle?
girl.
Next week, we're praying before court.
Yeah. Praise be.
I want
Anyway,
to play pickleball.
yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the second episode of the podcast and tune back in next week. And it's coming out Friday, but you would know that because it will be out on Friday.
Hey.
Hey, now on the come on.
That's gonna be us later.
Show them I hate you. I hate you first.
Oh yeah, I hate you. It says I love you.
It says I hate you.
It said I love you first.